live. Okay, 10-minute countdown. Hopefully they can't hear me on YouTube. Let me check. There's a SpaceX launch going on right now. Check, 23 check. I will. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
What's happening, YouTube? My name is Hayez. Your boy is back. Welcome to the Subject 4 podcast. I am here, as always, with the beautiful, ravishing Artemis.
Hi, guys.
We are a fan-made podcast for Project 863, a.k.a. the Matthias channel, because Project 863 is dead. Today, we are going over Season 3, Episode 3. I'm not sure of the title, but we
I
have
have the
titled this
title here.
podcast.
I
We have
found
titled this
something.
podcast,
I found
Do You
something.
Fancy Us Mad?
The title of the episode we're going over is I Found Something Upsetting Under My Floorboard, Season 3, Episode 3. But first, before we go into the episode, quick announcements, some housekeeping items. There will not be any podcast after dark today. I am actually not feeling well, so I am gonna probably go lay down and die. We also have we have a couple of our moderators who are not also feeling well, but
Yeah, it's that time of year.
also,
Plus, I've been working 14-hour days, and
yes, we do have Shades back, everyone. I'm so
Your boy
excited.
is back.
Yay!
What is happening?
I'm so excited.
It's been a minute, and I have missed all of you. Sorry for the absence. Some things came up at Foam City Incorporated LLC that I had to take care of, but they are handled now. Your boy is back. I am here to stay. I'm not going anywhere, so I will be back on a permanent basis. Hooray.
Yay!
Ink Knight
I'm
says
excited.
they did not miss me at all.
I missed you, which I missed you so much, babe. So the housekeeping, so there will not be any podcast after dark just for this week. We will be doing subject for gameplays on Saturday in honor of International Nugget Day. So keep your ears peeled on when we will be doing that over on Twitch. And if you don't know that we have a Twitch, the link for our Twitch is in the description down below. And shoot over there and follow us over there. We are now affiliated on Twitch, and we would love to have you part of the Twitch team over there. Also, we have memberships on YouTube. Memberships are open. This is definitely, we are not pushing anyone. We do know that coming out of like the pandemic that money is probably tight, and the holidays coming up, please do not feel obligated, but I do want to make that mention that we do have memberships on YouTube. We do have a couple of things of like behind the scene things available for people who do become members. We have different aspects. I should bring that up, huh?
Yeah, that might be a high point.
I know. Let me get that for you guys. So if you do look below, you can see that you can subscribe, and then you can see that you can become a member. The first row, so the tier 1 gets a role on our Discord. So Shades, when he's picking people from the crowd to jump up on stage with us at the end of towards the end of the podcast, and you have a role that says that you are a member and that you sponsor the podcast, you get a better opportunity of being picked.
Because your name stands out to me, and I will notice it sooner.
Yeah. And don't worry, again, we're still going to pick people who don't have roles and stuff like that. So you do have an opportunity. We're not unfair, but yeah. And to thank our the people who sponsor us, we do give that chance. And then we have our level 2s. You get a level 2 role. You go to members only live streams, which are going to be starting soon, where you can get behind the scenes in editing and building a podcast. So if you are interested in building a podcast, you would definitely want the level 2 role. In fact, me and my team were just thinking about it. We're probably going to put a poll up for our members on YouTube on what days work better. Because of my work schedule, I have Thursday evenings open, and I also have Sunday evenings open. So if you are a member right now, we will be doing those live streams on how to build your own podcast and how to run your own YouTube channel successfully. You will also get access to our private Minecraft server. That has not happened yet, but it is in the works. And
we are working on it.
Yes, we are working on it. But that does
Just
happen.
chill out. We're working on it. It's a
Level
lot of work.
3. Level 3s, you get all the other perks as level 2s and level 1s. You do get your own individual roles, and you do have your members only Discord and VC, where Shades and myself and our moderators will come on, and we will hang out with you guys and talk to you guys and answer any questions you guys might have, or we can just talk about butter Pop-Tarts. So
or McRibs. You know it's McRib season, and your boy loves a good McRib.
Yeah, this is the boy who hasn't gotten it yet.
It has to be. You have to clear your entire schedule for the day and half of the day the next day, because it's a serious ritual. When you get a McRib, you have to dedicate your time to said McRib.
I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat a food like that. I don't have time for that.
You can't just go buying McRibs all willy-nilly and just eating them whenever. It has to be an experience.
When I was
a McRib is not a food, it's an experience.
Oh my god. Oh, and according to Shades, no onions on the McRibs.
No onions. If I find an onion on my McRib, so help me God.
Well, so, yes. So if you would like to sponsor the podcast and get those perks, look down below the video, and you can become a member today of the podcast. And please make sure that when you do become a member, that when you are on your Discord, make sure on your profile your Discord is linked to your YouTube account that you subscribe to our channel. So if you have multiple Gmail accounts, make sure that the one that's on Discord, that you used on Discord, is connected to the one that you do the membership in. And if you do have any questions or concerns, you can ping me or Nugs on the Discord, and we'll get to those questions about memberships as well. Another housekeeping thing, there will be no podcast next week due to...
No.
I'm sorry, babe. But due to illnesses inside the studio, the Spellbound studio, everyone is okay. But because they were COVID symptoms, they have to follow California state regulations. And so that postponed shooting for the next episode. So, and editing as well, I believe. So they couldn't come into the studio. And so that they will now be, they're playing catch up, I'm assuming. And like Shade said, it's that season, isn't it, babe?
Is that
yeah.
The fall, the flus, the colds, the sinus infections, whatnot.
Well, I mean, that just happens. So, yeah, Nugs has lost his voice. So that is one of the reasons. But again, you guys are going to get us over on you're going to get us on Saturday. We're going to play games. I already got a couple of games that are going to be Twitch integrated. So so we're going to have fun over there on Twitch. And if you have never played a Twitch integrated game, you definitely need to go and check it out. So, I think that's all I have for announcements.
Neat.
So, yeah. So I
So
guess
let's talk about this episode,
well,
eh?
I've got some show beats we'll go through, refresh our memories. It was yesterday. So again, the episode is called I Found Something Upsetting Under My Floorboards. Again, if you are new here, this is the Matthias channel, who once was titled Project 863, but Matthias has announced that Project 863 is dead, but apparently 863 does not want to let go of them. So we open with Matthias in his car going to the studio, and he's talking about there are new writings on the wall and have been every single day at 3 a.m. At the studio, he asks us a couple of questions. Do we paint over the writing? What do you think about that, Shades? Should they paint over it?
That's a hard question to answer. Do they paint over it with the risk of it coming back, or do they just leave it with the risk of new hires that they are trying to currently obtain coming in and saying, what in the world is going on in this place? I don't think I want to work here. My personal opinion, I would paint over it. And possibly maybe a new message will appear. Maybe we'll get some more information out of it. I would paint over it. Paint's pretty cheap. Just paint over it. See what happens.
Well, let's get the audience on this. Let me get a poll on Spellbound. We're gonna do should they paint over the writing on the walls?
Or maybe they should just paint responses back. Maybe that's how it works.
I'll put that as an option, babe.
Yeah. Do you fancy me mad? Maybe. Possibly. As friends?
Okay. And then we're going to add... They're going to have like a whole conversation on the wall?
Yeah, they're going to have to use smaller letters. They're going to run out of room.
Yeah.
You're not listening. Shut up.
Oh, I almost hit notify all. Dang it.
Oh, make the big boy post.
I did not make the big boy post.
Make it your big boy post.
No. And if you are new to the podcast, all hosts on Spellbound have this option to make a big boy post, which is notifying all members on Spellbound. Free and plus, and yeah, you need strict Matthias approval for those.
White Wolf says, under look closer, you should respond, well, no, I'm not doing it. It's great. Well, no, I'm not gonna.
No, I'm not gonna. Oh, dang it.
You can't make me.
Me. Let's see. Let's try that again. It did that glitch that's all like, you are forbidden for doing this. What?
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. It's...
Like, you just let me do it 30 seconds ago, but now I'm forbidden to do it? No. It's a duck in a swing.
And...
Dusty Girl says, "What's wrong? You should respond. Well, you're kind of ruining my walls. Would you please stop?"
You're ruining the ambiance. We're
Yeah.
trying to hire people.
There's an atmosphere. I love how they walk in and there's just this huge, creepy message in red behind Bailey's desk, and all you see is the top of Bailey's head and her eyes peeking over this massive computer monitor. And she's like, "Are we going to paint over this?
Please."
Yeah.
All right, mods, I'm going to be posting the link in podcast recording chat. And all right, go ahead and head over to Spellbound and answer the poll.
I'm voting.
Are you voting? I haven't
because
even voted
it's
yet.
my right.
Okay, I voted.
Yes.
We'll give you guys a couple minutes on that. I'll go ahead and go through the I'll go ahead and go. Oh, I think you swayed the audience, babe.
Whoops. Skewed statistics.
Oh well, because like there are a bunch of people who are not listening to us right now, so they're gonna see it on Spellbound right now, and they'll even it out. So
why are they listening to us? They need to be listening to us. Who are these people? I will find them and I will bring them here.
They don't have to be a fan if they don't want to, babe.
Yes, they do. It's a requirement.
Matthias notifies the team that there is more motion detected in Red Base at 3 a.m. Sam grabs a camera. Then Woods, Bailey, Sam, and Matthias all head over to Red Base. At Red Base, the first sign is a red arrow that's pointing to the right, which terrifies Sam for some reason. Why is it the right? Why is it going to be the right?
Why is it pointing right?
Why is it pointing right? Second sign is a red arrow pointing to the doorway, and it's actually right across where they busted a hole for the server. They check on the Mountaineer because through that doorway is the Mountaineer. But then they find a third arrow by the lockers. Matthias, one of my favorite moments was once they're checking the area that the arrow is pointing to, Matthias jump scares Sam and she slaps him. I thought that was funny. He's all, ow!
I love when they check the lockers and they pull the wig, Tanner's wig out with a picture frame sticking, like just attached to it. They're, oh, you remember this?
The fourth arrow is over by Mike Badal's office, and it's pointing up the stairs. The fifth arrow is continuing up the stairs. And the sixth, they go into a room and where the arrow is pointing and the words are spray painted, "Do you fancy me mad?" And that was in what was supposed to be the GG break room. Rest in peace. They return to Megadesk. They head back to Reddit to ask a question, but they find a bunch of artwork and another housekeeping about Spellbound. They're only going to be reviewing Reddit theories on camera because Spellbound is shutting down the free tier in 5 days. So to make things fair for everyone, they're only going to be responding to the Reddit posts. And again, we still have people who have issues with that. And I'm backing up Matthias. Then I guess you don't really care about kids. Right, babe?
Yep.
Yeah.
We are unsympathetic to your grievances. So move on.
I'm very unsympathetic, and if that's the way.
Highly.
I'm just wondering if the people, like some of the people that are complaining on Spellbound, it just makes me wonder if those are the perpetrators, so that's trying to cause havoc. So
Seems logical to me.
yeah, so I don't mean to think that, but again, there should be no reason that people do that. I mean, they're going to be only reviewing.
No.
They're only going to be reviewing Reddit posts, and
Which
Spellbound.
it's not like free tier's going away. Literally, free tier is moving from Spellbound Plus to Reddit. That's
Yes.
it. Like it's not going away. Free tier's not going anywhere. It's just moving websites. Just
Yeah.
calm down.
Yes. I mean, it's just moving back to where it was. So,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
Spellbound's just going to be like behind the scenes, more like evidence is going to be on there. The investigations with Samantha Woods and Matthias are going to be on there, and it's going to be more BTS type of thing, spell breaking type of things that they can't post on Reddit. So, but yeah, I mean, it's and no one has said that the free tier is going to go away permanently. It's always just been once, this is a new kind of website that we're using. Matthias does not own Mighty Networks, so we're at the mercy
no.
of Mighty Networks. So if
But
Mighty
if we have to
Networks
buy Mighty Networks, we will.
says what, babe, Matthias doesn't have the phone money like you do.
I got that phone money,
The
honey.
phone money, honey. So just again hitting on that topic, free tiers going away in 5 days on the 15th. If you're listening to this in the future, it is November 15th, 2021. It's just moving to Reddit. It's not. We're not. I hate this. And I hate all the goodbyes. Just post your. Just link
It's
your
not-
account to
listen.
Reddit. People will find it.
It's not a social media network. I mean, you don't have to tell people goodbye. We don't care what you're eating for dinner. This is like story related stuff. And yes, it's a story. Like, let's be realistic here. This is a fictitious story that is taking place on YouTube. Like, you don't have to be so dramatic. Just link your account to Reddit. Don't be a drama queen.
Another thing is like there are like some minors who can't get Reddit because the parents they feel like Reddit is unsafe, and that is totally reasonable. I even made a post. I made a post on my account on Spellbound going, hey, like there are Discords. There's the Subject 4 podcast Discord. There's the We Are 863 over We Are Subject 4 over on Twitch has a Discord. There's a community server which is for like all Spellbound, including Team Edge, that you can join that are heavily moderated. The community server is actually owned and ran by this podcast a producer, Brandon, and so he has the same values and follows the same kind of guidelines as Matthias. And again, I am open. My DMs over on Spellbound are open to any kids' parents. I do have a level 1 FBI clearance card that I can send to your parents and be like, look, like I can be trusted. I'm trusted to be a teacher in all 50 states. I'm trusted around children. I can firmly tell you that you are safe on this Discord and on those 2 Discords. These fan Discords that are popping up, these little tiny fan Discords that are popping up now because the free tier is going, I cannot guarantee that they are moderated. And in fact, us hosts are actually deleting them because we cannot guarantee that they are moderated, and we cannot guarantee that Matthias would put his name on that, So be careful, be safe out there, especially if you're choosing a Discord. and just make smart decisions. Like if Reddit is not your thing and you rather go the Discord route, be safe. Make sure that whatever fan Discord that you go on, make sure it is. Well, there's also Emiko. I keep forgetting. Emiko has a Discord for artists, but I think it's exclusive, right? It's just for Spellbound artists. Do you know, babe?
This is correct. Yes.
Yeah. So, if you are an artist, reach out to Emiko. But there are plenty of avenues that you can choose to go through if Reddit is not your thing. There's also the comments in the videos.
But you will only catch me on the Subject 4 podcast Discord or the official Project 863 Discord.
Yes.
That is the only two Discords that you will ever see me on. Nothing against any other Discord servers. Those are my homes. Those are my two favorite servers, and that's just where I am most of the time.
All the ones I named, I'm on.
Yeah. I don't have time to be like a member of like 20 Discords. It's like those two, I stay busy enough.
Yeah, true. So sorry about that little break into our show beats reading, but I think that's all we got to say on that. But free tier, if the moderators and the hosts, if we do get our better tools for moderating, we could be seeing the free tier open back up. So, and hopefully we have dark mode by then.
Yeah. We need dark mode.
So, they go through a couple of posts, and then Matthias realizes that he didn't make a post on Reddit yet. So they make a post about the "Do you fancy me mad?" And then they go through a couple more Reddit pages, and then they return back to their original posts, and they're going through, and people are... I know the podcast, when we were going through the writings, we were going through all the capitalized. We were trying to unscramble the words. We did make a couple of great sentences unscrambling the words for them. But a couple of people in their comment section for the Do You Fancy Me Mad suggested looking at the capitalization. And Matthias, who listens to the podcast, said, there are people who have tried that and haven't found anything conclusive. So they keep looking through the comments, and they come across a comment made by SA, and it says, "I don't know if it helps in any way, but that sentence appears in Edgar Allan Poe's short story, The Telltale Heart." And from the direct quote from the poem is, "You fancy me mad, madmen know nothing." So Matthias looks up the cliff notes on the Telltale Heart, the poem of the Telltale Heart, and it is kind of gruesome if you have never read an Edgar Allan Poe. It is kind of gruesome. It is kind of like he's very dark.
Edgar Allan Poe is literally my favorite author of all time. Just because of the way he structured his stories and how dark and deep they were. Everybody knows The Raven, but The Telltale Heart is another one of my favorite stories of his. It's really a deep, dark, gruesome story about this guy who is literally stalking this old man for days upon days upon days, and finally decides to kill him and chop him up into pieces and bury him beneath the floorboards. Well, after he does that, he can hear the old man's heart beating beneath the floorboards, and it eventually drives him mad to where he confesses to the murder
and rips up the floorboards.
Rips up the floorboard, shows him where he's buried, and in the end, he realizes that it was not the old man's heart that he heard beating; it was his own.
Yep. So, I highly recommend people, if again, horror, gore, not your thing.
Yeah.
You can
And
just stick to the clip notes,
Yeah, Garrett explained it very well. It's a metaphor for guilt and distress and your anxiety taking over for the actions that you have committed. He felt guilty, he felt anxious, and it finally drove him insane.
Yeah. So they head back to Red Base because, again, the man hid the body under the floorboards. So they decide to take the floorboards out. After talking about how and what tools they need, they go upstairs. I like how Matthias was making fun of the girls for saying crowbar when he pulls out a pocket knife. Like,
yeah, there's multiple tools on this.
No, Matt. Anyway.
But it's a multi-tool. There are multiple tools on it.
But is there a crowbar?
I love how Woods is just like, I'm going to go get something.
He couldn't take it anymore.
Besides what you have.
Yeah, he basically went and got a chisel and a hammer. They pulled the floorboards up and find a body outline like they do in old-fashioned crime scenes. The body is the same size and height of Samantha, which is worrying.
It's kind of weird.
Matthias takes a picture of it and sends it to John Doe, and that is where we are left off in the story. So, really quick before I jump to your theories or your thoughts, Shades, I do want to read the results of the poll.
Let's check on the poll.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm loading. I refreshed. The results so far, again, this is just, this is just a trickle in the pond of what is Spellbound. We will be getting more, results to this post. We do have 45% said, no, you should respond with your own paint. 36% responded with, no, it will anger the spirit. 18% said, yes, it's your studio. So now that we have that post up there, for the people who voted, the 32 people who voted, no, you should respond with your own paint. Can you please comment down below what they should respond with?
Which message should they respond to, and
what
how should they respond?
Yes.
Yeah, and what should the response be?
Yeah. So if that is what you decided, then you need to stick with it. I know what you voted, Shades. You voted no, they should respond with their own paint. So,
yes.
Put your money where your mouth is and basically tell me which message should they respond to and what do you think their message should be.
And it's so simple that it's stupid, but I would respond to help me, and I would literally just I would respond how. I would just write how on the wall.
So I voted yes, it's your studio.
Oh, boo.
Because this is why. Okay. I want to know if it can be covered over. Or do they keep coming back? Or do they come back with different messages?
Bleeding through. Yeah.
Or they come back with different messages, or it bleeds through. There's more of an experimentation in that. But yes, there is an experimentation with responding with your own paint, and maybe they can do that, and then, the next weekend they can just paint over it and see what happens. But I think there's more.
I want to point out that M1K posted that they would just write meep on the wall.
Meep.
Meep.
Meep the Jeep. Beep beep. So I have two things to go over about this episode. The first thing is, in the comments of the episode, I noticed a comment, and it stood out to me. And it's actually 2 comments. The comment that I found underneath the video was written by Conspiracister. And they wrote, "Be careful where you go from here, guys. It's commonly interpreted that when the madman and the Telltale Heart heard the beating under the floorboards and thought it was the old man's heart, it was actually the sound of his own." This was followed up. This was responded with maple sugar sorry. So sorry, Maple.
Maple sugar butt?
No, maple sugar bush. They responded with, "I agree." With the reference to the Telltale Heart, I now feel that all these clues may not actually be from some forgotten victim, but the actual assailant wrought with pain because they were never able to finish their job. So, because I mean, the Telltale Heart, I always want to say tall. Sorry. The Telltale Heart is basically written, it's by the perpetrator's point of view. And so these clues, like help me, could be more of a, I'm writhing in guilt. You need to help me. I find this body so I can rest because of what I did then. So these clues could be pointing the team to this body of who they killed. So, well, what do you think about that?
It's so hard. It's so hard to say because it it doesn't seem. I tend to agree with you. Just putting that out there, that it doesn't seem like someone who is in physical pain. It seems like they're kind of off kilter mentally, like they're kind of in and out. Like, can you keep a secret? Help me! You're not listening. Like, it seems like they're mentally unstable, which would be what a homicidal maniac would write on the walls in what appears to be something similar to blood. It's not blood, not paint. Not sure what it is, but I tend to agree with that. I think it may be the actual killer who is writing these messages.
Should we do a poll on that?
We can, yeah.
I'm wondering, do you think it was written by the victim or do you think it was written by the perpetrator? Let's go ahead. Let's see what others think. And make sure when you answer, type in why. So, I should have did this.
But then you have to remember that one of the messages on the wall said, "Find me," which would indicate that it may have been the person who died trying to get them to find them where they died or how they died.
Or if it sounded like it was a murderer, I don't think they would go looking for it. Maybe they're just posing as the victim.
Or was that actually what they were supposed to find? When the message said "find me," was that what they were intended to find? or was that did they just happen to stumble upon that by sheer luck?
I just posted the link in the Discord, Moderators, if you want to send that over to YouTube as well. We'll come back to that later. That is an interesting question, and I don't even know what to pick.
And here's the thing. I'm kind of torn because
it said, "Do you fancy me mad?"
Yeah.
And that was all the perpetrator. The perpetrator's driven mad because of the heartbeat.
Here's where I'm torn, is because there seems to be at least two different sets of writing, of handwriting. They don't look the same. Some of them do, some of them don't. There's at least two different sets of unique handwriting. There may be more. I think we're not dealing with just one entity here. I think it's multiple that we're dealing with.
Or it could be the victim and the perpetrator, because it did sound like a conversation.
At certain points, it did sound like a conversation.
Maybe it's the last conversation that the victim and the perpetrator had.
Yeah.
Because, repeating itself. Oh.
Yeah, a lot of those things, they stick. Those conversations or movements that the spirits had while they were still alive, they stick out there in the astral plane, and they replay themselves over and over. Maybe this is a conversation that took place between the perpetrator and the victim.
Mm-hmm. And we're just hearing it. And maybe the help me was the victim asking the perpetrator to help them. Like, what are you doing? Like, help me. And he just kept killing them. Ooh, that's dark. Ooh. People think I'm dark. We'll go to something a little bit lighter that has nothing to do with the body and the chalkboard. I want to talk about what they found on Reddit. I know that Angie_AN had posted, like, he did it again. And he was in quotations, and it was written in Deb's perspective. And Matthias talks about the gaslighting that Deb has done, and that a lot of people are on Deb's side. But I got to talk to Angie last night, or I'm sorry for assuming, but I got to talk to them last night, and they also made a post on Spellbound that basically said that the he that they put in there was actually for Nelson Cyphus and not for Matthias. But then we go down to a post made by Core 1000, and they posted, see the resemblance, both destroyed, the only way to contact Deb. Benjamin wasn't lying. Y'all were one of the same. You're just better at hiding your mask. And they posted a picture of the Phantom breaking the Apple II computer, and Matthias then side by side with Matthias destroying the server. And I do
some similarities there.
There are, and I am. Because of being a premium member, the transcripts and everything are up in the evidence. But I also, at my disposal, the mini tools that these girls have given me, I'm privy to the research of the Science Babes. And I was reading through their transcripts, and back in March, when we did not know, when Matthias thought he was talking to Nelson, if you go back and you listen to those conversations that they had in text message form between the Phantom and Matthias, we now know who is Benjamin Cobalt, the Phantom. The perspective is now different. Let me pull it up. I have it here on my phone. They do mention that Deb tried to kill them. I
Really?
yeah. And I got to thinking, did Deb try to kill Matthias? Because she knows like future events. Do you think she tried to kill Matthias when he got bombed and was just play acting that, oh no, you can't go, it's dangerous, knowing
Yeah,
full well
like
he was gonna
feeding,
go.
like egging him on, making him want to go worse.
Yeah. Do you think that was an attempt to kill Matthias?
I,
Because Benjamin Cobalt told Matthias, we are one and the same.
yeah, we never
So,
had a choice.
and we never had a choice. And if you go back to those March conversations, which I'm pulling up now, you start getting like similarities between Matthias and the Phantom. And I know Matthias took it the wrong way. He took it as like we were defending. I'm thinking Core 1000 was defending Deb, but it drew me to the parallels between Benjamin Cobalt and Matthias's relationships to Deb. They were both gaslit, both used, both manipulated, half truths on everything. And what happened? The Phantom destroys the Apple II, and Matthias destroys the server. I just think those are all. It's the parallels between these two characters are amazing and shouldn't go without notice.
Yes, no, that's a valid point. What's interesting to me is how Matthias tries to explain away his actions. Like he faults the Phantom for destroying the Apple II, but he explains away his actions as, oh, everybody says I was my emotions got the better of me, but they, he explains
He
it
said
away.
that he
There's
was going
logic.
by facts.
Right. He's basing on facts, but here's the thing: is what's interesting to me in all of this and in all of these scenarios. There's from the beginning, the definitive line between good and evil has diminished further and further and further to where now the line is blurred to the point that there is no good or evil anymore. There's no good guy, there's no bad guy. You don't know which is which. So for him to say, I'm basing this on facts, this is all perception that he's basing his judgment on. He's perceiving that Deb is lying to him, but he does not know that. He's perceiving that Benjamin Cobalt is evil and is trying to do bad things, but he doesn't know that. None of us know that. There's these gray areas that have grown and grown over time to where now we're in the dark as to which side is which, who's good, who's bad. We don't know.
Okay, so one of the direct quotes from B27 when he was talking to Matthias, let me go. This is in March 1st, 2021. Here's a direct quote. Matthias says, then you already know that a lot has happened. We discovered a lot. B27 responds with, oh, was 863 anywhere in your discoveries, or are you still just being led around in the dark by your puppet strings?
Mm-hmm.
She manipulated those events, speaking about Deb, so that they would occur in the first place, so that it would draw you closer to here. And that's talking about how Matthias had to start the studio, but in order for him to start the studio, she orchestrated him being laid off by his previous job before he started the studio. The B27 talking about the manipulation of the events. Deborah had numerous little worker ants she deployed to do her dirty work. I can only assume she did the same here in order to lessen the odds against her. So, I mean, these conversations, I suggest everyone should go back to March 1st and listen to the conversations. Matthias, this still feels so unreal right now, and that's not helping your case. B27, no need to get defensive. I'm just informing you of the truth. Deb's little project stems deep. It always has. It wouldn't surprise me that she gave herself added insurance to push you in the right direction. So, but there was another conversation before this, because this is when they, B27 is asking for, basically the, what is it called? The thing that connected to the Apple II.
Oh, the emulator.
Yeah, the
I
emulator.
just searched for the word.
In the conversation, Matt, so this is February 11th. February 11th, he's talking about the exchange on sides. Matthias said, how do we even know we can trust you? B27, I've seen your videos. I know you've learned small things about me when it comes to Syntech. I am the absolute. I can guarantee you that whatever questions you have, I can answer. And then they say about, because Matthias is saying that the Mountaineer is his property, and that he stole his property when he stole the Mountaineer. B27 said that car was originally mine. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Like, he's saying he owns it. Like, that's his.
Like, why would Wes and Deb be in a car that he owns? Strange.
I'm trying to find the part where he said that Deb tried to kill him. It is there. Even Soroxa pulled it up earlier.
Yeah. And I've said it from day one. I don't think that Deb is a bad person intentionally. I think Deb has not lied, but withheld information from the team for their own good, whatever that reason may be, whatever that end result may be. I don't think she has lied intentionally. I think she has to keep this information from the team for their own good. And I really believe, and I feel like a lot of people are behind me on this, that Matthias has made a huge mistake by destroying the server, by cutting off communication with Deb. I feel like we're kind of all on the same page that he made a big mistake.
Now I'm in the conversations on February 19th. He just told Matthias D stands for Deborah. Matt says, she was talking about pushing you out of Syntech, saying that you were dragging the company down. And Matthias is saying this because he thinks he's talking to Nelson at this time. Yeah. And B27 said, oh, was she now? She hasn't changed a bit. Even now, Deborah is talented. No one would question that. But she was rather touchy when it came to me. I'm not sure if it was a difference in opinion or ideas or for the company, but she never liked me. She would speak more with my partner than myself. I wonder if he's playing that he's Nelson.
I don't. It's that's a hard question because if Benjamin Cobalt actually had a partner, who would it be?
I don't know.
But
Maybe
then again,
it's the
if he was like intentionally playing like he was Nelson, why all of a sudden be like, Nelson? This isn't Nelson. Why all of a sudden do that? It doesn't make any sense.
B27. I see that she's manipulating even you at this point. Matt, what? B27. Deborah was a master manipulator. You heard it for yourself on the tape. All those clinical trials that went wrong, all of the people that were experimented on, she headed all of that. She's the reason I need the serum in the first place. Which is interesting because in Wesley's notes, it says that that B27 blamed Wesley. But then I think when B27 saw Deb kill Wesley, maybe he has evidence that she's really the reason that his experimentation on him got messed up. And she's actually at fault. And that's how she tried to kill him.
Possibly. I could see that happening.
So I suggest everyone to go back. That's February 11th, February 19th, and March 1st conversations that they have on text messages. If you are a Spellbound Plus member, I'm not sure if those are up. Yeah, they are up on the evidence. I always want to call it the evidence locker, but the
evidence locker.
Yeah. So
the official evidence locker.
Yeah. So let's go to the poll. Do you think the writings are written by the victim or the perpetrator? 67% said victim. 32% said the perpetrator. What did you vote for, babe?
I did not vote because both was not an option.
Sorry. I don't want a gray area. For that kind of a question, I didn't want a gray area.
Yeah, true.
But I didn't think about, like, it sounded like a conversation. So I voted the perpetrator because of the fact that it said, do you fancy me mad? And the rest of the quote is, a madman. So there's no reason for a victim to say that. So, do you have anything else on this episode?
I think that was all the points that I wanted to hit. Yeah, I think that was it. I think we hit it pretty much on the head. That was the highlights of the episode.
Well, now you want to turn it over to the audience? I do know.
Yeah, let's let the audience weigh in.
The Science Babes did reach out to me earlier about maybe hopping on stage at this point if they are here.
Yeah. Science Babes, come on, dude.
Caitlin, you can just jump up.
Get the Science Babes, dude.
There she is.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
I am here. I do not know if my partner in crime has managed to escape her meeting yet.
Yeah. So, but your partner in crime did reach out to me and said that you guys have some interesting things that you would like to share in the podcast.
Yes, we actually did a video that we posted called "Do You Think Us Mad?" We did the live stream called that last night.
Let
But
me
I
get the
thought it was
link so
funny
we
that
can
you did the
share it to
same.
our audience.
Yeah, we went through quite a few theories then, and we've done quite a bit of work today as well.
I have too. I've been going through your guys' evidence.
I know. I'm now thinking I need to go back through all of those chats.
I know, because I'm
You're
like...
right. I never thought to go back and redo my perspective on them.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause that's just
it so
insane.
happened somebody asked me earlier this morning, hey, what are your favorite Phantom quotes? And I'm all like, you know, we had the conversation with Matthias and that was epic. But I was like, well, there's more than that. Like, we have chat logs and we have text messages and stuff. And we even have him talking to somebody else on a phone that we didn't hear the other half to. Like, I want to go back through those and pick out quotes from there. And then I ran into March 1st and I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, I can draw parallels now between Matthias and B27 a lot better.
Yeah.
My favorite Phantom quote is Shrek 2.
It did say Shrek 2.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Okay, so what you got for us, Kaylin?
So we were looking at locations of all of the text that's come up in the studios, including the arrows. Mostly thinking about the possibility that "Do You Think Me Mad" was actually the very first piece of writing that appeared. Matt stated in the episodes that there was no camera in that room, so they wouldn't have been notified of movement or anything happening. So "Do You Think Me Mad" could have been the first one that appeared. And when nobody went in there, they thought, we'll try again. Can you keep a secret? Yeah. But we actually went through so many different versions. We posted this today on our YouTube, that there's so many different ways that this can be a conversation between two different entities. And I didn't vote on the poll either, because both is a good option.
Yeah. I didn't think of it until we started talking about it.
Yeah.
I know.
We forgot.
I forgot. Well, I was all like, well, which one do you think it is? I didn't want to put both. Like, while I was typing it, it crossed my mind briefly. I was like, nah, I don't want a gray area. So, but then after talking about it, it was all like, oh, wait, it's probably both. Because you have the help me, which sounds like a victim. And then we have the look closer, and I don't know. I was trying to go through the poem and trying to find like look closer in the poem and stuff like that, and no, and find me is not in the poem.
No, it's not. The word secret and the word find and the word help do appear, but all of them are in the wrong context. Yeah.
It says listen, listen, listen. So, but it's not, are
all in
you
the wrong
listening?
Context.
Yep.
No.
So,
that's why I think the "Do You Think Me Mad" was first, because they obviously wanted attention to that room quite early on. So there would have been no reason to do the arrows if they were using the other text to lead them there, and that was obviously an attempt. But what they must have done was, they weren't getting anywhere with "Do You Think Me Mad" because there's no camera in that room. So they put another text up, and then another text up, and then another text up. Finally got the hit that they wanted. Put more text up, trying to lead them up into Red Base upper level. Still didn't get them in the right room. So what's your next best option?
Yeah, that would be
arrows.
Because this is like old GG break. This is an old GG break room. There's not even a reason for people to go into that office.
Yeah.
No.
That room.
Maybe it's the spirit of GG.
GG's dead.
Yeah. A lot of things are dead, apparently. Project 863, Battle Universe, Wrecked.
Somebody here's a funny observation. Somebody posted on Spellbound last night. How awkward is it that Matthias picked up a sponsorship for Project 863, but he keeps saying Project 863 is dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look, hey, let me tell you, Matt. I want to speak directly to Matt. Matt, you have got to stop stealing my gimmick. Okay, if you want me to do ads for Warby Parker, your boy will do it. Just holler at your boy. I don't mind doing ads, but you got to stop stealing my gimmick. The Shades gimmick. That's my shtick, man.
When he
That's
called
my
them
branding.
Sunnies, he did call them
You need to
Sunnies
message
though.
him.
I was like
You
Sunnies,
can't call them
Sunnies.
Sunnies.
Oh my god, that's like old man thing.
But it's like I the only time I hear the word Sunnies is in England, old men in England.
Old men
And
in England, yep.
yeah, and so then I'm all like, is California like picking up the word Sunnies? Like, no, please, no. Like,
Please, no.
there's
Please, no.
shades.
Yeah.
It's a word that shouldn't even exist over here.
Well,
Shades are my thing. So Matt, please, respectfully, let me handle this. You need me to do an ad for you. I will be more than happy to do the Warby Parker ads. Just holler at your boy. Have your people call my people. We'll get back to you.
well, going back to your, what do you think about that, Shades? About do you fancy me mad actually being the first writing, but because there was no camera, it didn't pick it up?
It's totally possible. I mean, like you said, nobody goes in that office. Nobody. I've never even seen that office in
No.
the entirety of Red Base. I don't think we've ever been shown that space, and that shows you how little it was used. So it's,
Well,
completely possible.
It's not little has it been used. It's just like that was like all official. Like that's where people were working and stuff like that. So it's never like shown up on vlogs or anything like that. It did show up when they played hide and go seek with the dodgeball when they did that overnight shoot with all the guys.
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm. I have a question. I do have a question for you, Kaylin.
Go on. Yeah.
So,
should I be afraid of this question?
The cameras pick up motion, right?
Yes.
Why are they picking up words showing up? That's not motion.
No. In theory, that shouldn't happen unless there is someone physically in the building putting that text up.
It's picking up something else.
Yes.
And Matthias did hint that they should get the laser grid again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I would be interested in seeing that.
I think
another ghost hunting video would be.
Well, not a ghost hunting video. Like even just setting up the. Hold on, let me think. Does IR won't pick up the laser grid?
It's got to be a ghost hunting.
Like at this point, I think it would be vital to have a video to where you have different products where you are trying to actively communicate back with these entities, with these spirits, quotation mark.
Like a rival. Sorry.
Right, yeah. Like, I think it would be, where you're trying, I mean, you have to communicate back to these entities in some way. So, I mean, an overnight video where you have products that are open for communication with the spirit world. I mean, not a Ouija board. No, we're not doing a Ouija board. Please don't ever play with a Ouija board.
Matt's already said no.
Yeah, no, don't.
Tanner
do that.
did. Tanner did in Red Base.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
to go back and read because it was like the girl version of Ouija board. But I have to go back and rewatch that. I don't know if he picked anything up. But the laser grid, I would like... Okay, now it's my turn to talk to Matthias. Matthias, I would like you to paint over behind Bailey, and then paint over that, and then put the laser grid on top of it.
And see
if there's any movement.
If the messages come back, or if it's a different message completely, and
I just want to see if there's any movement that happens.
Yeah, if there's movement within the grid.
Because one of the things about like ghost hunting and stuff like that, I told Shades every evening. I call Shades after work, and I was at work, and a couple of creepy things happened at my work, and when it happened, the lady I was working with was kind of like wide-eyed and just like, oh my God. And I'm like, nah, I don't believe in that. And I had to go investigate. Like, not, no fear. I had to go investigate and figure out what the heck was going on. But it's not so much that I don't believe in that. It's more that I don't believe that happens to me type of thing. So yeah.
Amazing. And of something definitive to where you could tell if it's a person or not, it would be. I'd like to see something like that.
I mean, I'm all for things that I can't explain. I'm all for those things happening to me or whatever. In fact, I live very close to Tombstone, Arizona, and Tombstone has sorry about that, guys. My internet they're all saying robots Fallout is because my internet was kind of crapping and you guys were sounding like robots. But we're back now. But I'm down in Tombstone. They do this like a ghost hunting tour, and there were a couple things that happened while I was on that that I can't explain. I really can't explain. But I don't want to be like. I don't want to be like the people back in the 16th century that thought lightning was God's judgment, but we know that there's a scientific reasoning behind that now. So when things that I can't explain happen, I want to be able to have an explanation with it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, whether we find that explanation in my lifetime, but, we'll see. But it's always bothered me that the motion detection, and they're thinking like the concept that the words showing up is triggering the motion detector, which shouldn't, because there's no motion with that. These words are phasing in and out. It's still up against the wall. There's no
there's no motion to them. They literally just appear.
Yeah. And that should not trigger a motion detector.
Yeah.
But I would say, Matthias, if you do paint over some, you need to put the laser grid on it to see if we can pick up that motion and see what we pick up. Like, yeah, I mean, if it's a person, like if we get a kind of laser grid pattern that looks like it's a person, and we're able to judge the height of that person and then compare it to the person, the chalk outline victim on the ground, that would give us some clues, that would give us some answers. So I would like that. Well, thank you so much, Kaylin. I did post their link about all that. It's the moderators have it. If you guys can pass that over to YouTube,
Yep, we've posted 2 videos today, and we've even posted a reading of the Telltale Heart.
You guys have been busy. I don't know how you guys find the time.
Neither do I. I'm actually off this week, so maybe that might help.
Yeah, okay. I totally forgot you said that you had that off, and I'm like, I got a full-time job, and now an over long distance boyfriend, and and drama
it's
at
getting harder and
work,
harder to get you for
drama
little
with
things.
friends, and it's just so much moderating on so many different avenues now. So, and I still don't even know how to moderate Reddit that well, but I'm getting there. But
And in the middle of it, could you let us know when you're available for Little Things 5?
will do. I will let you know. Yeah, I'll let you know. Okay, thank you so much, Caitlin. Check out the Science Babes. They're here on YouTube. Check them out. Thank you.
We're on Spellbound. We're on Reddit somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. Well, I don't know where, because we made a joint account
where,
and
but
Steph
we're
got
on
it.
there.
Yeah. I don't know anything.
You'll find them if you just type in Caitlin anywhere, so. Or Comp Sci Girl.
Well, that's too easy, yeah.
Yeah, true. All right, thank you so much.
See you later.
All right. Shades, do we have people in the audience?
We do. We have 30 people in the audience.
Well, I mean, do we have any with their hands raised?
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's time to bring up the rest of subject 4 on the matter. So if you have a question, a comment, or a theory, raise your hand and we will select someone from the audience. I'm going with The Phantom. I'm sending you an invite to speak on the subject 4 podcast.
You just click up at the top, just like Zoom.
Click accept.
Which we have to do with you, Mr. Lurky.
Yeah, I just deny them.
Yeah, if you're not on the Discord, he likes to lurk.
The Phantom.
Hello, the Phantom. Is he muted? Or they? I cannot see.
No, not muted.
There, I can
Hello?
hear. I heard that.
Hello.
My mic fell off.
Oh,
it's
okay.
okay.
That's cool.
So my theory is that Nelson is the dead person. Because
so the outline of the person that they found was Nelson Cyphus himself.
yes. Because one thing is, I do not personally believe that Nelson Cyphus could not run an operation like this that's going on right now. And also, how else would Ben get the parts to build that bomb without being put on a list? I think GR is the one that is in control now, not Nelson, because GR killed Nelson because Nelson was in the way. As I said, how else would Ben get the parts to build that bomb without being put on without having suspicion on him? And also, I mean, Ben, and also, why else would Benjamin, build the bomb other than for GR, who is the government?
That's an interesting theory. Now, if you think back, this fits because they found items that seem to have belonged to Nelson in the past. We know that there's the wristwatch, there's the handkerchief that has Nelson Cyphus's initials on it that was charred and burned. We know there was a fire at Syntech. Could it be possible that the chalk outline was left over from the fire that occurred at Syntech, and Nelson himself was one of the casualties within Syntech?
Yes, and I mean it seems plausible because, like Matt said, Nelson is practically a ghost story. We never even seen him, and
we've never seen Nelson. We've never heard from Nelson. We literally know nothing about Nelson Cyphus.
Nelson could be 3 years old for all we know.
Or it could be completely made up. We don't know.
Yep.
Going back to Telltale, it's an old man that dies. So when I heard that, I thought Nelson.
Yeah.
Because if
Joshy says, could that room be Nelson's office?
Interesting.
also Nelson, yes, he's a CEO, but he does not have the possibility to get all these technologies as a preceptor. But GR would, because he is above LAPD. He is the government, so he would be able to obtain that stuff. And also, the cases kept getting shut down. Maybe because GR kept shutting them down.
Interesting. The government would have the leverage and the power to shut down such an investigation. Very interesting. You make good points, Phantom.
I don't think Nelson died in the fire because we do have evidence that Nelson was still alive after the fire due to the timeline that you can grab from this Science Babes YouTube channel. They have this very interactive, detailed timeline. But that doesn't mean
that doesn't mean that it was actually Nelson who was still alive. He could have died in the fire, but they made it seem like he was still alive so they didn't lose their government contracts and the ball didn't stop rolling on these important experiments.
Yeah, I personally believe that it could be true that Nelson Cyphers was the one that was killed in the room, and we don't know what Nelson's height is, so that could be Nelson.
Very true. Very true.
Oh. That is interesting. And I mean, when I heard when we were clued into the Edgar Allan Poe's poem, I was like, well, maybe that's Nelson that is dead. But another part of me wants to think that maybe that is one of Nelson's victims and that Nelson is somewhere. We're yet to find Nelson's body. Shop outline.
And also, remember I think it was chat between Deb and B27 that was supposedly a murder plot to get a chemical. What if that wasn't Deb, but instead GR? And asked Benjamin to get him the chemicals to kill Nelson Cyphers.
Yeah, because Deb did claim that the chat logs had been tampered with, so somebody could have made it seem as though Deb was requesting the deadly cocktail of chemicals, but it was really someone else all along.
Can somebody post the picture of Samantha in Woods? If you find that, can you post the picture of Samantha Woods in the Discord chat, please? I'm working on a theory. I'm trying to answer Joshy. Joshy said, imagine Nelson was a dwarf. Samantha's tall.
Yes.
Bailey is the same height as me. Bailey is 5'5". And Samantha is taller than Bailey. When I search on Google how tall is Samantha Feckley, I get 5'5", which she is not because Bailey is 5'5".
She's not 5'5".
And then the next one says 5'8". I know that Woods is 5'8". So
Sam's taller than Woods.
So I need Sam.
I think Sam's like close to 6 feet.
Yeah, she's tall.
Maybe
we're not dealing with a midget.
No, it's like maybe 5'10", somewhere around there.
I am so mad right now. Right now I'm looking for stuff to upgrade my Phantom mask, and I did not know they had a black gas mask. If I knew that, that would have been so helpful.
Matt is 6 feet.
Yes.
So if you can get me a picture of either Samantha standing next to Matt or Samantha standing next to Woods, we can be able to read that. But no, she's definitely taller than. I'm thinking she's actually taller than 5'8". So no, I mean we could be dealing with a man. So
Yeah, I'm thinking like 5'10". She's pretty tall.
yeah, she's. I mean, if you look at the Halloween dance that Bailey and her did, um, she stands taller than Bailey.
Right.
When I bought the gas masks, it was just a regular tan gas mask. So we had to use Sharpie for the cartridges, like the actual gas mask cartridges, which was like 10 hours. It was. I wish I knew this before. I'm so mad right now. I am mad. It would save so much time and.
No,
I'm mad.
Joshy, I've talked to Bailey because I've talked to Bailey a couple of times, and she mentioned she was 5'5", and somebody mentioned that Sam is tall, and she goes, "Yeah, she's taller than me." So she's taller than 5'5". Let me pull up the Joshy said to look up the shoes. Hold on. Sorry, you're gonna hear my phone going off as I'm researching.
I wonder what Deb is doing right now.
If you are not subscribed to the Subject 4 podcast on TikTok, I highly suggest you do that. We do have a message from Samantha herself on our TikTok. So
We do.
Yes, we do. And if you're looking for our TikTok, it's basically just Subject 4 podcast, or you can find it on my bio page on Spellbound Plus. So, oh, that is. See, but that picture is manipulated. Like the when
unedited.
Squatter makes those posters, he cuts everyone out and then places them in there. That's a manipulated picture.
I don't know if you guys saw, but I did a trunk and treat for Halloween for like the project, the Phantom stuff. During the whole entire time, my mask kept leaking. So, like, one of the vials are empty now. So had to do some huge upgrades to it.
Yeah, everyone's costume looked fantastic.
Do you guys?
I love.
I'll post. Did you guys see my trunk and treat I did? I posted everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, we did. Well, Phantom, we're gonna go ahead. We do have a couple more theories to get to. Thank you so much. I do think that that could be we could be seeing the outline of Nelson. There's a part of me.
I kind of hope so.
There's a part of me that hopes, not hopes, but the dark side of me is hoping that Deb killed Nelson and took his place.
Yes, that would be great.
There it is. Thank you, Meredith.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one who sympathizes for Benjamin.
Okay, she could be 5'8" in that picture. Well, thank you so much, Phantom.
Thank you for having me on. You guys have a fantastic evening.
You too.
You too.
Goodbye.
Ink Knight, you said that you had something. You can jump up here.
Yeah.
What's up,
guys?
Hey.
Okay, so yesterday after the episode, the Science Babes did like a YouTube live stream, and they asked for the handwriting notes that we did that other time. And since we managed to get premium finally, we started looking through the files, and the handwritten lab note. I didn't have access to it, so I didn't know that it existed. I didn't know the full content, but the entire text. I'm not gonna try and. We have a theory that it might either be Deb's handwriting or Jordan's handwriting, because the way they both scribbled out the words matches to Deb's handwriting, but then the method on the first log doesn't match. And then the last line, for those who cannot see, imagine having a page with perfectly written text, and then the last line just loses its pressure. The words starting getting longer, and it's not even a full sentence. It's like 3 words dragging themselves out. And I'm not a doctor, but either something happened, or I possibly think whoever that was might have been under the influence of something.
Oh, the serum, maybe?
I don't know. That's why I came to you, Miss Nurse.
They're all jacked up on serum.
Well, I mean, it's, again, I mean, we do have medical notes on what the serum does and the side effects and stuff like that. But then again, like, just because we know a couple of trials and the symptoms doesn't mean that we know the complete picture of what all side effects would have on every individual out there. So, I mean, each individual can react differently. But, I mean, yeah, being under the influence, it could be anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like literally.
I'm pretty sure that both of the logs on that page were written on different occasions, or even by different people. Like I said, like the way it was scribbled over in the first log is not the same way that it's scribbled over in the second log when they
Yeah.
make mistakes when writing. And I'm gonna try and get someone who I know that has a similar handwriting with the same pressure and stuff, and see how long it take to get an estimate. Because if it was like a substance that only after an X amount of time it started to take effect, then I don't know, I think that could be valuable for something.
Yeah. I think it would. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what that uncovers for you.
Yeah. So yeah, just there's also we also, with the whole, oh, it could be Deb or it could be Jordan, me and the science babes kind of theorized that it could have been that Jordan could have walked in as an internship as Deb's secretary or someone who would take notes for Deb,
Yeah.
and then got the role of biotechnician because you cannot be someone's secretary if you don't know medical terms and science stuff.
Jordan Kendall.
Yeah, we think that Jordan, who we know has the biotechnician
Well, the
identity
thing
card.
we do know by notes, Wesley's notes, that was all faked to get herself into the door of Syntech. They didn't know basic things, the basic like terminologies and science stuff. So she faked. She manipulated Syntech into believing that she had a scientific background, but really she did not. And we know that from Wesley's notes. So
yeah, Deb might have tried keeping her around through giving her tiny jobs as reasons for her to explore the rest of the building and finding more patients and taking more proof for the newspaper.
Yeah. Maybe. That is if Deb is a good guy.
Yeah, even if not.
Well, then there would be no reason.
Nelson.
I mean, unless she was manipulating Kendall into just getting Nelson out of the way so she could take over the company.
Now you're thinking like I'm thinking.
And then she killing, because there were 3 founders, and she gets rid of one through conspiracies, and then she gets rid of the second one as a murder, and then she would be, but I don't think that that's what happened. But I still, like, every time I talk about Wesley's murder, this one line pops in my head of her on the tape saying, "I can save you this time." And that bugs me.
I
That
don't know
line
why, but I
has
still
always
have this
bugged me.
feeling. Yeah, I agree. I also have the bugging feeling that Gary Reynolds uh was already controlling Nelson in some
Well,
sense of the word.
Garrel Reynolds is not GR. Different name tag positions and stuff, because he specifically GR works for the government. Gary
Yeah.
Reynolds, I can't remember what his job title was, but his job title was not government issued.
Yeah, but whoever was
I think
in
it was
from
like
the
bio.
government, they could have just threatened to undo the government contract or something like that. Nelson would lose that sweet cash. Or whatever the compensation would be.
Well, I don't want to make Deb's, like, Deb was against Project Pegasus. Very against it. And that was GR and Nelson's baby.
It was.
So, and we know that Project Pegasus is bad news. So, I don't know. But, okay, let's go back into Matthias. It's talking about how he's running on facts, we're running on story. Well, Mr. Matthias, I run on facts. Season 2, I was singing from the rooftops, "Don't trust Deb." But just because the destroying of the server was an emotional response. It was not a logical.
And him saying otherwise.
It was
him
not.
Saying otherwise clearly
He's
pisses me off.
saying now we can't go back, but that's not logical. Logic says to use all resources, use every single resource available to you, and then you make your decision. Yes, Deb manipulated things, gaslit them, but she still did give them information. So did Benjamin Cobalt. So you need to utilize all avenues available to you for you to make a educated decision. But if you all of a sudden shut down one side of the information flow because you don't like the source of it, now you're getting no information. He could have easily, I agree with Woods, he could have easily just unplugged it. And maybe took the plug with him. Or maybe have taken the server with him and stored it somewhere where no one else knew. But then when it came back to the time where he needed to get access back to Deb, he could have plugged it all back in. See, that's what logic would say. Logic would say basically what the Phantom said: truth is still the truth no matter where it comes from. But the thing is trying to distinguish the truth from gaslighting, yes. But for him, he was tired of it. That was an emotional response. He was not thinking factual. He was running on emotions. And you could see that from the moment he grabbed the bat. Well, the moment he walked away from Mega's desk to get the bat, to beat a logical person does not beat up a server.
Server, it has done nothing but provide information and a contact.
That was an emotional response. And so, does it? There was evidence that Gary Reynolds is not GR. Caitlin, if you're here, if you're still listening, I know that we were talking about it.
Who gave me the heads up to talk about the stuff I found out with them.
Yes, and I appreciate it. But yeah. What do you think, Shades?
neither of them are listening to the podcast right now.
They're not? Shades?
Oh, the science
not.
babes left. No.
Hold
okay.
on, I'll add them.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
no.
either Shades or
Right.
Soroxa. We have this like huge debate about Gary Reynolds and how come they can't
It's,
be GR.
it's Soroxa.
Is Soroxa here?
No.
Yeah, I'm getting their attention. Waving a flag.
Gary Reynolds is
Over
GR
here.
though. Come on.
Just wave the bagged milk. He'll come running.
That's
Soroxa?
Canadian thing.
Yeah, Soroxa's Canadian.
thing.
Soroxa's
Yeah.
Canadian.
I was waving a flag for the science babes.
I know,
Oh.
but we think
Soroxa.
me and Shades think it's Soroxa who we were debating with about that. But
mean, Gary Reynolds, the initials fit, but why would GR, who works for the government, also work for Syntech? That doesn't make any sense. I think it's a
that's-
ploy. I think it was a made-up name tag that was used as a ploy.
I mean, the name
it-
tags also have the name tags that we found also have misspelling.
Misspellings. That's what I'm saying. It's a ploy. They were planted there.
By Deb. Dun dun dun.
Nug's got a photo.
Dun, dun.
Nugs, yeah, but why? Like, why? Answer the misspellings, huh?
Hmm?
Huh? Huh?
Hold on.
Huh?
I don't think this one has any misspellings. Unless
Well, Jordan Kendall's
my
had a
English is-
misspelling.
Jordan Kendall's was clearly
The other one, what was the misspelling? It was the bio one.
too expensive to reprint them. I mean,
No,
if
they
were
they
using
misspelled.
all those resources
They
to test on people.
They misspelled. I know it's a biotech company, but they can't write basic medical terminology on their own employee badges, which have government contracts on it. Nah.
They hired high school interns to print the name badges.
As a medical.
Oh, no, that's the point. So they're going to send a correspondent to the company, kind of like an advisor.
A government advisor.
That's not an advisor. A correspondent is basically a person being a middleman. And GR was not a middleman in any of the chat logs. Correspondent is a correspondent. They just relay messages.
Do we know, like, the email to Cyphers about the government stuff did not have... It wasn't a chat log, right? It was an actual email.
No, there was a chat log between him and
No,
Wes. And a
Yeah,
chat
there were
log
chat
between...
logs.
Yeah, there's chat logs, and they are definitely not a correspondent. It is definitely a representative of the government.
Yeah, like
giving
the government
orders.
is telling them. Yeah, they're like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. And a correspondent would just be like, okay, I'll relay it over to, it's just a lazy, but I can't, it's just a correspondent. Like, I don't know how to describe this for you. No, they cannot act. A correspondent cannot act in the name of the government. Correspondent just corresponds information. They cannot act in the government.
Imagine
Nugs,
a pigeon.
go research a correspondent. Then come back. But
Nugs, GR is a pigeon.
yes, a carrier pigeon basically, and a pigeon
think
doesn't
about-
order anyone around.
Think about when you're watching the Weather Channel and Jim Cantori's on there, and he's a correspondent for the weather. He doesn't control the weather. He's just telling you what the weather is.
Maybe they mistitled him too. But that right there should tell you, Flying Lemons, that right there, like, it's like you guys are like, it's like the people, like, I understand the frustration of Matthias, because it's like, Deb has lied and gaslit, so you can't trust anything that Deb says. Unless you put it up against the other facts that you have. And if you put it up against the other facts and it sticks, then it's probably true. But the fact that these name badges have misspellings, now you're saying mistitled, why are we going to believe them then?
It kind of makes a good point. Like, the fact that Jordan Kendall was supposed to hide her identity by taking one L off of her last name, really? Come on. Like, I don't believe that. I don't think that's an actual thing. Like, that can't be a thing, right? You take one L off your last name and all of a sudden they're like, oh, they'll never know. They'll never know it's me. Come on.
I want to read what Mysterious Wolf just wrote. I just posted this on Spellbound. When we saw the logs on the Apple II, Deb asked B27 for a lethal amount of a chemical, the euthanasian. Either Deb knew Ben would help her, or there's something more nefarious going on. What if GR knew of Ben's love for Deb and is pretending to be her in this instance? That would also align with how during the encounter between Matt and the Phantom, there was an unrelated, unseemingly not Ben's voice that said, "I will kill her, Benjamin," when B27 was prompted to tell his plan. What if that was him reliving something GR said to him when he first started manipulating him without pretending to be Deb? B supposedly offered to be the the chat keeps moving. experimented on himself to get it done for Deb. If Ben thought he was being asked by Deb, he would probably have listened to GR. Nelson Cyphus could be a good guy for all we know, another victim manipulated by GR. I do believe that GR was a lot more powerful than what we know of.
We also know, well, Deb also claimed that the chat logs were meddled with.
And she really, well, again, I don't trust Deb. Because she said, all life is sacred, but I blew my boyfriend's brains out. Like, shut up, Deb. Like,
Which, I want to pull a theory off of Discord real quick. I found it interesting, so I want to read it real quick. And it says, I have a theory regarding the story written by Edgar Allan Poe, which would be the Telltale Heart. The story, as explained, is about a man who is trying to convince the audience that he is not mad. Throughout the story, he attempts to justify his actions, even if it was one of criminal nature. I think this can parallel with Deb. The team no longer trusts her because she murdered Wes. What if this writing is Deb trying to reach the team to plead for her sanity and explain that the action of Wes's murder was done for a justifiable reason? Which does that in theory mean that Deb is dead? Or is she using some other means to make these messages appear on the walls of the studio?
One of the things that also bothers me is one of the other reasons why he killed the old man was because of his haunting eye.
Oh, yeah.
An eye that just kept staring at him, and it just drove him mad.
And that's the kind of that's kind of the theory behind the story. Like it's like an obsession almost. Like it's the narrator of the story is actually in love with the old man. It has nothing to do with money or vengeance or anything like that. It's basically just a fixation of obsession, and it reduces it down to this pale blue eye in an obsessive fashion.
Reads
And
Nugs' quotes.
Yeah.
I was trying to not point it out.
I don't care.
Poor Nugs. He's sick. At least you could give him credit.
I know. I made the joke because Nugs has lost his voice, and I'm all like, puberty?
Yeah. Puberty?
I'm sorry.
Aw.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Poor Nugget boy.
He's a man. He's a nugget man.
Man, I really need to start reading Edgar Allan Poe.
I'm here.
no.
It's okay.
Rest your voice. Oh. Okay. It's all good, guys.
I like how he's all like, I can't talk, so he jumps up on the stage and talks. Goofball. That was Nelson saying that to Ben. I will kill her. The thing is like the pitch and the tone changed. So I like in my head, because we do know that through some of the evidence that we found in the Mountaineer, there is some mind control going on. And it's almost like that mind control slipped because Benjamin was fighting it. And so knowing that the mind control was slipping, whoever was controlling Benjamin spoke directly to Benjamin saying, I will kill her. But we also know that Deb has said over and over that she is safe and she's far away from Nelson. So that's where my theory that Benjamin has a daughter, and that's why we have the toys in the Mountaineer, because again,
we're not doing this.
Here comes the sadness.
Again,
Everyone
he says the Mountaineer is his property. We've only had 2 people in the entire story say that the Mountaineer is theirs. Matthias, after he purchases it from the police department, and then we have Benjamin saying it's his. So
Which Flying Lemons makes a good point. What if we find all the answers to all these questions in the filing cabinet that we still haven't opened?
There is another problem with that Flying Lemons. Mr. Matthias, who is running on all facts. No, you're not. Running on all facts and not emotions. His emotions are not allowing him to go through that filing cabinet because that filing cabinet represents Project 863, which he said is dead. He is not going to go through that filing cabinet until he realizes he is being emotional.
Throwing a tantrum.
He is
He's still throwing a tantrum
until he realizes that he is not running on all facts because he has not opened up the file cabinet. He does not have all. He has eliminated. He has cut off communication from B27 and Deb, so now he doesn't have any facts. And then his refusal to open up the filing cabinet speaks that he is not running on facts. So there, Mr. Matthias.
We're all just sitting here telling, open the filing cabinet. Well, no, I'm not gonna.
Well, he's why hasn't he? It's not like he hasn't seen the comment saying, open the file cabinet, open the filing cabinet, open the filing cabinet.
He's a child pitching a fit right now is what he's doing.
Yeah, because 863 is dead. No, it's not. You're still in it.
863 is dead. I'm going to break 3 things and throw things, and I'm not going to open the filing cabinet. So there.
So there. By the way, Matthias, talking to the man, not the character. I love you. We love you. Me and Shades love you. But the character, you suck.
Yeah. Matthias 863 is I'm over it at this point. But Matt, you're a great person. I'm glad you're my boss.
I know. I just felt bad yelling at Matt.
I know. Like, I just want to make it clear that we're talking about Matthias 863. Matt, in real life, you're a great person, and I care about you deeply. Thank you for being such a wonderful person.
Hope you're
but
feeling
Matthias
better.
863, suck a butt.
We mean the pouty man child, not the responsible adult.
I'm going to change the channel name back to Matthias.
Well,
Like, could we at least get some retro Matthias merch?
Can we name it
then? Like,
Subject 4? We're doing all the work here.
Yeah. We're the only ones that still care and run on facts, Mr. I run on facts.
When he said that, I was like screaming at the television. I'm like, you are not running on facts. Like, you shut down all your information and you took away your only source of information. Yes, it was tainted, but I mean, okay, if you are in a desert and you're starving for water and you come across a stagnant pond, you don't just go, oh, that water's dirty, I'm going to just rather die. No, you find a way to purify that. So yes, your source of information is stagnant and kind of poisoned, but you can boil it down and figure out what is fact. You can purify that information rather than just starving in the desert. Like, that is not logic.
Better than none.
That's a really good analogy. Thank you, Nugs. I live in a desert.
I agree.
But the thing is, like, you don't just it bothers me because it's like, as in the scientific mind, you don't just shut down information. Right now, the only source of information that Matthias has is the writings on the wall and his audience, who still are, but he shut down our source of information that we were deciphering and figuring out. He all we have is the writing on the walls. Yeah, so it's like, you don't... Sorry, Matt. He acted in emotion, he reacted. He did not sit back and think about it or even ask. He didn't even ask Subject 4, he reacted.
He spoke for us. Like,
yes, he took the decision away from us. He took the decision from everybody in that room, who still kind of holds a little bitterness, because when they were going through the Reddit, even Samantha was like, well, you need to think about it in the audience perspective. And he was not even for that. But it was like, he's talking about that we only see the story, he sees the facts. No, you're in the story, Matthias. You are in the story. You were running around in the maze while we're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
We have the facts. We are emotionally separated from this. Yes, a lot of us get emotionally entangled with this story. And honestly, I'm not one of those. I am one of those that is looking through research, and what was said, what was done, what we have, trying to figure this all out. But it bothers me that he basically harped on Subject 4 for being a little emotional because he took something away from us. And I'm not saying I am not Team Deb. I am not Team Deb. I am Team Information and trying to figure the thing out. And you shut down all of our sources of information, which...
You look foolish, Matt. You look foolish.
You should have kept it, because there's... Mark my words. I am saying this on November 10th, 2021 at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am saying this to Matthias. There's going to come a day you're going to need that server, and you're not going to have it.
You're going to need Deb.
He's going to need to... It's not so much that he's not going to need Deb, but he's going to need some information from her, and he burnt that bridge.
Exactly.
And you should never
he's
burn
gonna
it.
Completely honest.
He's going to need Deb.
Hi, Garrett.
I want to throw a tantrum and just stop helping for like a couple of weeks just so he misses us, Like, oh yeah, you take all of our sources? We not helping anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Garrett, what do you think, Garrett?
Well, sorry for just butting in, but I just want to. I'm playing devil's advocate here because
All right,
watching
please
this
do.
episode made me understand the character Matt more than ever, I think. So we've all been telling him, oh, go check the cabinet, go check the cabinet. But the reality situation is he's never going to until he accepts that Project H63 is alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cabinet is a representation and a symbolic standpoint of we need to continue where we left off.
Yeah.
And Matt is he's in denial.
Yeah.
Well,
he
that's not
has
so
to.
much. That's not so much playing devil's advocate. You're just agreeing with us.
No. What I was suggesting, though, what devil's advocate part is that I understand where Matt's coming from, though, when it comes to smashing the server. I actually agree to a point of smashing the server, and the reason. But here's the thing. Obviously, he did it out of emotion. The way he said he did a fact, I was like, okay, no, you're just justifying your actions so you feel better about yourself. But the reality situation is no. You did have emotion. You were angry. You beat the heck out of this thing. End of story. But was it a bad decision? I think I can be on the side of saying, no, I understand, and I actually agree that that's actually probably a good thing because it's a way for them to finally figure out if they want to move on or not. If the situation that they're at, if they want to continue where they're at or if they want to stop it. We're watching this at a perspective of like a detective point, right? We're watching this as subject 4. Well, they live it. They're living in this situation. We're just observers. So there is going to be a point where they have to say, do we want to continue this or do we want to just leave?
Well, the thing is that that time has already come and gone. If you go back and look at the texting that he was doing between what he thought was Nelson at the time, but we actually know was B27. B27 says, I can make this all go away right now. If you just hand me all the evidence and Deb and the emulator, I can make it all go away. Which is true. I think it could have made him go. Could have made it all go away at that point. But the fact that Matthias fought back, and then we got into season 2 where we started finding the serums. But then at the, it's like the person that Matthias went in as in season 2 and the person who came out of season 2 are totally different because it was almost like Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, where the good guys got beaten the crap out of. And I understand, like, he's frustrated and he's tired and he's not getting any answers. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And, but the thing is like, there is a way to have cut the cord from Deb and basically drew lines in the sand with Deb, but not have, because you never, like I said, if you're starving for water in a desert, you don't all of a sudden just throw away a stagnant pond. You figure out a way to purify the pond so you can drink the water. And right now that water is information, and we don't have any information now because he decided to throw away our stagnant pond.
But going back to what you said about season 1 and season 2, the difference between Matt and season 1 is Matt was, this is unique, this is interesting, this is something that is new. And whether or not it was, horrifying a situation, the mystery and Deb itself was the interconnection because they thought that she was the only thing that they could believe in. The only person, the connection they had, that they're like, okay, this is the only person that we can trust. And during the time when they're texting, which I believe is Ben, because there wasn't a stalker, texting Ben or the stranger or whatnot in season 1, he says, I can make this all go away, they didn't believe this because this is a person that broke into the building multiple times. This is a person that they could not trust. So I understand why they didn't decide that situation. But throughout season 2, I think it was a breaking point for Matt and a lot of people in the crew because they were like, okay, when the heck is this going to end? This is getting more dangerous. where, people are going to the hospital. People are possibly could die in this situation, where radioactive poisoned. And the one person that they could trust, Deb, found out that she was lying the entire time. It is a point where it's like, was this all worth for nothing? And I think that's where Matt is at. Whether or not I agree with him of smashing up the server, which I don't agree with, I can understand why, but I do agree cutting ties with Deb in any way, because I think they need a reality check to point to say, do we need to continue, or do we need to stop?
I think that time has passed though, because look what's happening. They're back in.
I think, but they're forced into this now back again.
Well, honestly, they were forced from the start, and I think they did have an escape at one point, but that time has come and gone, and they can't decide. There is no turning back now.
I don't believe that guy would.
They have crossed the event horizon. There is no going back. They're being sucked in. There was a time like what John Doe said, like Project 863 is a black hole. There was a time that they could have turned around and just went safely back to Earth, but they've crossed the event horizon. They can't.
Oh, they played the adventure role, but now they're trying to back out.
Well, they can't.
Yeah, they definitely can't now.
Yeah, they definitely can't.
But I'm just saying.
I kind of get why, like Garrett just said, I don't agree with the smashing of the server. I agree with the cutting off the ties, but I do get why. It's not just the whole fact of, oh, this is getting more dangerous. It's the same thing as a kid reaching for a pot of boiling water and putting their hand in. Artemis, right now, if I asked you to do that, would you?
No.
Why?
Because boiling water burns skin.
Now, if I asked you to get radiation poisoning for the sake of information and knowledge, would you?
Is this information and knowledge going to save lives?
Yours? Maybe not.
Yeah, but is it going to save others' lives?
We're selfish human beings.
I'm not.
No, I'm just saying.
I know
Shades can even tell you I'm one of the least selfish people. That's why I never have money. It's because I'm spending it on everyone else.
Give it all away.
Yeah, see, Shades gets pissed at me. But honestly, if you were asking me to put a hand in boiling water to save someone's life, I would do it, no hesitation. If you were asking me to put,
but I do understand the perspective of the people who would have said no, especially those.
No, and you can't fault them for that, because you can't put your values on someone else. I agree with you completely with that. But the thing is that what bothered me the most was I'm looking only at facts and not emotions.
Yeah,
And
that part
off.
actually really ticked me off.
And because that made
we were watching it with Cypress. He wanted to yeet our computer.
Well, that made us like Subject 4. That made us feel like we're just some long for the ride. Oh, you're just the audience for the story, and we're just a story to you, and you guys don't see facts like I can. No, you're a rat in the maze, and we're outside the maze. Like,
but I feel like that's Matt kind of just, instead of saying that to out us out, it's more he's outing himself out, but he's protecting himself by using us as a guinea pig.
Yep.
Because I feel like that was more of an inner. Because I feel like I think he understands, or I hope he understands that smashing the server was not facts. And when he sees that, he's like, when somebody sees something that they've done wrong, they acknowledge it, but they shift the blame to somebody else.
He didn't,
because they don't want to believe in it.
He doesn't even admit that's wrong. He even told them because it was either Sam, it was one of the three behind him said, "Well, now we can't go back," and he goes, "Exactly, now we can't go back." But like I said, there's going to come a time you're going to need that. You were going to need that avenue, and you're not going to have it.
True.
So,
Well, unless it's dead right in the walls.
Nugs, we're going to wrap it up soon, so feel
Yeah,
free to
we've
go.
been-
I
And
got
I'm
an eye on
watching
the
Discord
chat.
right now.
Okay.
We've been going for a while now.
Yeah.
so-
But,
yeah, notes messages saying that we're past 2 hours and 12 minutes. So.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I knew that this was going to run long because, I mean, this has been bubbling up for 3 weeks now. And so there's going to be a lot of
Yeah, it
things.
a
has.
lot of things to
has.
cover.
And we're going to be missing next week also. And so, but yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But again, if Matthias is listening, there are some things that you need to do some soul searching on. Am I going robot again?
Okay.
Not for Discord? Okay. It is going to be for YouTube because it picks up what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing Autobots roll out. Can you guys hear me? So Shades, okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I can't hear Inky, Garrett, and Shades right now. But oh wait,
Whoops.
say it. I can hear you guys now.
Hello?
I can hear you now.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you guys now. It was Autobots, so
No.
yeah, it could be
my
kind of.
internet blipped out too. I was still on stage, but I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I think something's going on with Discord right now. But
Yeah.
No,
'Cause everything
it's
else-
Not just this.
oh,
I'm as a college student, I'm dividing one apartment with at least another 3 people, at least.
Okay.
well, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast. If you are listening to this in the future, make sure to check out my profile over on Spellbound Plus, and make sure that you participate in those polls. And please, if you participate in the polls, please start a conversation in the comments, because again, conversation is what brings out the best theories. So
Yes.
that's why I started this podcast, and this is why we have a conversation at the end of the podcast, because it helps us build theories. It helps us bounce ideas off of each other. Helps us boil down the stagnant water. But thank you everyone on YouTube. Again, there is no podcast next week. There will be no episode Friday or next week because
No.
yes, but I mean we can't help. We are still
at
in.
least they're
Yeah.
safe.
They are all safe, but we can't help.
Yeah, gotta
when
take
people
care
get
of
sick.
yourselves first.
Yes, take care of our crew's health and well-being.
Yes.
Have a great couple of weeks. We will catch you guys on the I believe it's the 28th. No, it's the 24th. We will catch you guys on the 24th of this
On
month.
the day of an exam. This is you guys are gonna have an exhausted night.
The day before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. And we shall all
Yeah.
have
I
a
forget that exists for you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, again, don't forget to butter your Pop-Tarts. If you have not seen my TikTok on that, it's actually not that bad. Also, please make sure to subscribe. Once again, if you were able to join our membership here on YouTube, please do so. We much appreciate it. Helps us put out even better content, and maybe Artemis can afford better internet. But it also helps me pay my editors, helps me pay my moderators and everything that they do, and it's just a big thank you. And we will be seeing you guys. But once again, if you cannot pay for the membership, you are still part of this community. You are still part of us. It is 100% okay if you cannot. We understand. It is not a guilt trip. It is just an avenue for you guys to help sponsor us. Yeah. And so yeah. Hope everyone has a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you guys on the 24th. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.